Good afternoon, everyone. As the nation gears to celebrate 155th birth anniversary of the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, it seems apt to initiate discussion on one of the most pioneering aspects of his life, the Swadeshi movement that changed the face and fate of this nation, hinged upon the idea of creating self-reliance by way of indigenous industry. The industry that opened doors for Indian independence is today being seen as the roadmap to achieving the goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047. Even though the MSME Development Act came in only 2 decades ago, the micro, small, and medium enterprises have been playing a crucial role in enhancing economic growth, employment, and innovation. And today, it is these enterprises which are driving the export numbers over and above everything else. MSMEs are proving to be some of the most reliable and contributive value chain partners for the bigger league enterprises. These enterprises are fitting in multifarious roles, guiding the agenda of Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat simultaneously. Now, as I mentioned, Atmanirbhar Bharat, we are all taken back to the year 2020 when the package was launched and the campaign was kickstarted. The Atmanirbhar stimulus package announced by the government consisted of 5 tranches: business, including MSMEs, poor, including farmers, agriculture, new horizons of growth, and government reforms and enablers. To be truthful, even though all these tranches seem separate, MSMEs stood at the core of each one of them. And it is through this campaign and package that the structural limits of micro, small, and medium enterprises was revised. Today, these enterprises stand to contribute more than 45% of the nation's export numbers. But as a governance centric organization, the goal and aim of the ICSI has always been to ensure that compliance has not been sidelined at any cost. And even further, if the government has been launching a host of schemes, their impact should be seen at the level of end beneficiaries. It is with this intent that the ICSI had formed the MSME and Startup Board in the year 2023 under the chairmanship of CS Rajiv Bajaj, who is joining us today as we deliberate upon the role of CS professionals in the growing and sprawling MSME ecosystem of the country. Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Bajaj and Bajaj Corporate Chambers, CS Rajiv Bajaj is a fellow company secretary with more than 3 decades of experience. A commerce and law graduate from Punjab University, Chandigarh, his opinion and presence is much sought after on various platforms with deliberating matters of MSMEs and startups. And with him, we have Dr. Ajay Garg, also a member of the MSME and Startup Board of ICSI, to lead the way. An effective speaker, technical author, writer, and social entrepreneur with total corporate experience of 38 years. He has served as the director on the board of Corporation Bank. Apart from being a fellow company secretary, law graduate, and holding masters in economics, commerce, and business administration, he's a qualified insolvency professional, registered valuer, IPR attorney, QID, QSC, and PhD. A mentor with the Startup India portal, Dr. Garg is known for his practical approach and simple guidance to both corporates and fellow professionals. We welcome you both, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Through this webinar today, we intend to develop an understanding of the various roles that can be played by governance professionals in empowering MSMEs, in addressing specific challenges, and providing tailored solutions, and also in helping these businesses thrive in a competitive landscape. To dive deeper into this ocean of opportunities for the company secretaries and to gain a better understanding, I would now call upon our first guest speaker, CS Rajiv Bajaj, to share his views with us. I would also request our participants to raise their queries, which will be taken by our expert speakers. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll share my screen. You can see my screen. So, hi friends. Thank you, ICSI, for the opportunity. As just shared with you, we have a MSME and startup board since 2023, and we have second year in running for that board, and we deliberate all the things which are related to MSMEs as well as startups. And as you know, all of us we are trying to engage more and more professionally with this huge opportunity which is there. So Ministry of MSME, Government of India, as you know, controls the MSMEs and the micro, small and medium enterprises, as they are called. They are the significant contributor to the overall growth of our country. And of course, it is not only act as a backbone for the manufacturing, agriculture, and engineering services, but also it is one of the top employment generator for us. So, being complementary to large industries, it also contribute to the GDP of the country in a huge way. So we, as professionals, we it is our role to actually help Government of India to work with all these MSMEs to make sure that they get all the professional inputs which are desired by them, and also to make sure that they get their space and they flourish. And whatever are the challenges being faced by these MSMEs, we should actually act as a catalyst between them and their growth journey. And that is where the opportunity is for all of us as professionals to get into the economic growth of these MSMEs, and also to try and work with them closely. So we can, as professionals, contribute to their, adding to their range of products, to their overall consumer strategy, their how they should go to the market, how they should achieve the growth trajectory. So, as a professional, I think we have lots of things to, you know, work on. And if you look at the overall growth of Indian economy, uh, people are talking about 8% growth for Indian economy, 7% plus we are consistently showing. And the stock market and everything is reflecting that. And if you look at the foreign investors who are looking at India and they are coming into India, that number itself, the investment numbers itself are showing that we are going to be one of the largest economy of the world, third, third largest by 2032. So we are inching towards that. So let us straight away jump into what are the characteristics of MSMEs. Of course, they are labor intensive. There is less capital required by them. They have a lot of flexibility to start their journey early on. They have a shorter gestation period, like if you go for a bigger project, you need lots of gestation time. But in MSME, you can start immediately and sometimes within a matter of few days. Of course, they help in decentralization of the overall business volumes, and small players can actually add up to act as a growth catalyst for the bigger organizations or bigger companies. They have a greater flexibility. They can always manage their schedules and time in a much more effective way. And of course, large market share, and of course, lots of employment generation is there in MSME. So, if you look at the overall contribution, they are contributing 30% of the country's GDP, nearly almost 1 trillion of the economy is of out of the 3 trillion we are talking about these days is coming from MSME sector. 45% of the manufacturing output is coming from MSME. 48% of the country's exports are also kind of directly or indirectly being affected or are managed through MSMEs. If you look at the overall number, sometimes these numbers are we get, but some figures are that 90 million MSMEs are there in the country, although not all of them are registered. So there's a huge scope for us to actually encourage them to register on MSME portal, and today we are going to talk about that only, that what are the schemes which are available to them, what are the advantages for them to register, and that is where I think we as professionals can play a very big role. Of course, they are giving more than 11 crore job, and about 1.1 crore plus MSMEs are registered with the GST. So, of course, they facilitate women growth. They bring balanced regional development because they can be everywhere. It's not like a big industry which is only at one place or one location. MSMEs are small entities located in different parts of the country. They help in mobilization of local resources. Of course, they pave optimization of the capital because small, capital deployment can actually produce very big results. Of course, export promotion we just talked about. They complement the large scale industries. I have worked all my life with the manufacturing setup. And we always used to deal with these small MSMEs who will supply various parts to us. And they actually do it very beautifully and in a very effective manner. So they provide that kind of large scale industries, that kind of flexibility which they require. So, of course, they meet the consumer demands. They also ensure social advantage and, of course, develop entrepreneurship. Startup we all hear about, and these startups actually converge and convert into MSMEs over a period of time. So, the the MSMEs are not having less challenges because being small always comes with lots of challenge. So one, of course, is the lack of credit facility. So that is where lies the opportunity for us professionals, where we can coordinate this kind of credit facility for these MSMEs. We can coordinate with the banks and institutions who are providing support to MSMEs. And of course, we can provide adequate amount of get the loans for them from various institutions and other bodies which we'll be talking about. And of course, the MSME requires a lot of documentation to be done for arranging these you know papers for these loans. So that is where we professionals can come in and help and support them. If they go for these kind of loans, they get much better rate of interest. So the the beautiful part is, and the interesting part is that 99% of MSMEs are micro enterprises. We all know the definitions. We'll be talking more in detail about that. So these micro enterprises, they have their own challenges because they are very small. They cannot afford CFOs. They cannot afford production heads. They cannot afford very qualified graduates from IIMs or IITs or something like that. So that is where I think they need support from a professional who have the flexibility to guide them and be a kind of a overall financial and other support to them. And lots of them are techies, let me tell you. So when you are actually, the more support is required in terms of the financial support, as well as the legal support, as well as the support about the knowledge economy and knowledge about what are the benefits which are available to them. and of course, about the financing, which is their common problem. So that is the you know where we professionals can come in. We can actually talk to them because they have a lack of credit history. They don't have collaterals which are and Government of India has beautifully tried to help them with a new scheme which came few years back, CGTMS, which is they are providing the collateral guarantee from the government side. And earlier that was 2 CR, limited to 2 CR. Now it is enhanced to 5 CR. So the that kind of support and the guarantee government is willing to take to help and support these enterprises. And another angle which we just talked about, they have lack of awareness about the government schemes. So that is where we professionals, we have a uh, duty to first understand these schemes ourselves, and then spread the message across to these people who are struggling with finding the solutions about these schemes. And of course, they end up raising money at a very high interest rate. If they are aware about the schemes, they can always manage that at a very competitive interest rates, and that is where we can come in. So various government schemes which are there, let me quickly run you through. One is Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, where the financial assistant is provided to set up self-employment and sustainable employment opportunities in rural and urban areas. So, the micro enterprises in non-farm sector, they are, given margin money subsidy, which ranges from 15 to 35% of the project cost, and for projects up to 50 lakhs in manufacturing sector and 20 lakhs in the service sector. And also beneficiaries who are belonging to special categories like scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, or women minorities, or ex-servicemen, or transgenders, or aspirational districts like northeastern region, where the Modi government has the present government has lots of focus on. And the margin money for subsidy is 35% in rural areas and 25% in urban areas. So these benefits are available under this employment generation program. So we must talk about it and actually tell them about and any individual which is about 18 years of age can apply for this subsidy. Uh, so another government scheme is Micro and Small Enterprises Cluster Development Program, which is called MSC CDP scheme. So under this scheme, there is a support for addressing the common issues such as improvement in technology, skills, enhancement, quality, market access, etc. So they are helped for the infrastructure wise, the facilities are given, and of course, in existing industrial areas, clusters for MSMEs are formed, and there are various ways where common facilities are made for like testing, training, raw material, uh, warehousing, effluent treatment plant, complementary production process, because it's not possible for these small enterprises to have their own effluent treatment plant and bigger facilities. So a cluster kind of approach has been adopted by Government of India, where they can actually become part of that cluster. So they can have advantages of a big company, but at the same time, they can have the common facility usage where they can plug and play and enhance their overall business volume. Of course, there is a uh, infrastructure development projects, including factory complexes, and the existing entrepreneurs in the form of a special purpose vehicles. They can form a SPV and create this cluster. So there is a huge opportunity here, and we as professionals, we can actually play a very good catalyst to get somebody this benefit of setting up a cluster. Now, there's another scheme which is called Fund for Regeneration of Traditional Industry, called Sfurti. Now, this is just to give a fillip to our artisans, because India is a country full of artisans, and their goal is to support up to 2.5 crore for up to 500 artisans, and 5 crore or more than for 500 artisans. So there is a soft intervention of up to 25 lakh rupees, which help them for skill development, for attending buyer-seller meets, for market connects and e-commerce, design support, raw material support, and they can be in handicraft, textile, agro processing, bamboo, honey, coir, khadi, and there are so many sectors. So we can actually help people who are artisans and who can actually do very well in sustainable employment generation in this area. And to tell you, one of my mentee has set up this kind of a center in village area in Himachal Pradesh. So and he is planning to expand, and he is already registered on ONDC. So there are huge benefits which government is providing and supporting, and they are working actually purely to enhance the life of rural artisans. So this is really a very effective scheme. Then we have an entrepreneurship and skill development program, ESDP scheme, which promotes the new enterprises for capacity building of existing MSMEs, and of course inculcating the entrepreneurial culture in them. Benefits are that development, achievement, motivation, and entrepreneurial skill can go up, and they can get the benefits under this scheme. Now, there's another scheme called Assistance to Training Institutions, where these training institutions are given, money by Government of India, or financial support by Government of India, where they are set up different tool rooms or facilities for training all these MSMEs in their skill development initiatives, and of course state level EDIs and state level UT union territories are also promoted there. And the maximum assistance is up to 3 crores in this scheme. So this is we can I believe some institutions who may qualify for this, we can guide them and help them take the benefits of the scheme. There is another scheme called Coir Vikas Yojana Umbrella Scheme, which is for utilization of raw material, which is abundantly available in our various economic levels of production. Of course, there is a scheme to help the workers, entrepreneurs, and exporters, for getting development for improvement of equipment, machinery, processes, and getting into new products. So this is for actually for wire-based industry, welfare, and this scheme is also being taken advantage of. If any of your client company is into this wire business, they can actually take advantage of this scheme. Then, of course, procurement and marketing support and PMS scheme. which is lots of trade fairs, national and international level, and exhibitions and MSME expos are taking place. So the government is actually encouraging all these MSMEs to participate in that. So that gives them market access, and that also give them lots of opportunity to meet their customers and to showcase their products and talk about it. So these schemes are helping in capacity building and of course development of retail outlets and people can take benefit of this scheme. And let me tell you, our co-speaker, Mr. Ajay Gargji, can talk a lot about this because he has been getting this facility for many of his clients, and he took advantage himself as well. So I leave it for him to talk about it more. There's another scheme called Scheme for Promotion of Innovation, Rural Industry and Entrepreneurship called Aspire, where livelihood of business incubators is help. It's to help set up a network for them, and of course upskilling for them, and maximum 1 crore of benefit is available for government agencies, and up to 75 lakh rupees for private agencies for procuring plant and machinery. And there's another for operational expenses also up to 1 CR is available under this scheme. So these schemes are available to all. So I think we must propagate this. And the credit guarantee scheme for subordinate debt, which is something where government has come up for stressed MSMEs to help them come out of this their stress. So they are given credit equal to 50% of their stake or 75 lakh, whichever is lower. And this scheme is just to make sure that there are lesser number of NPAs, and they should be brought out of this debt trap. Now, quickly, I'll take you through because the time is less for us. The certification and registration. And here also, there's a huge opportunity for professionals like us because we can actually encourage people to register as MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprise with Government of India. So, why they should register, I think we are all very clear about. First, let us be very clear about the definition and classification. So it's based on the investment and annual turnover criteria. If it is less than 1 CR in terms of investment and less than 5 CR in terms of turnover, they'll be called micro enterprises. If it is less than 10 CR and less than 50 CR in turnover, then the small enterprises. And similarly, if it is less than 50 CR in terms of investment and 250 CR in terms of annual turnover, it is called the medium enterprise. So the entities which are eligible for MSME registration: individuals, startups, business owners, and entrepreneurs, uh, private and public limited companies, of course, sole proprietor, partnership, LLPs, self-help groups, cooperative societies, and trusts. So any of these can registered as MSME. The documentation is very simple. We are all knowing about it. So let's help MSMEs and propagate this to MSMEs. We should tell them the bank benefits which are there. One, it is the interest rate is cheaper by 1 to 1.5% from the regular loans which other people are getting. There is a credit for minimum alternate tax to be carried forward for up to 15 years instead of 10 years in case of MSME. Once registered, cost of getting patent and cost of setting up the industry reduces because many rebates and concessions are available. And let me tell you, patent is something where the fee itself goes down. So, so we must encourage people that just by doing a small MSME registration, they can save a lot of money. MSME registration help acquire government tenders easily because there are certain tenders which are available for Udyam registered portals. Of course, a one-time settlement fee for non-paid amounts for of MSMEs, and of course, it will help them availing benefits of other credit guarantee scheme, credit-linked capital subsidy, public procurement policy, and other schemes. So there are huge benefits, and ISO certification fee reimbursement also happens. Electricity bill concession is available, and of course, participation in trade fairs we just talked about. So these are the benefits which are available. I think with this, we must got motivated to work in the MSME area. And my friends, you need to actually focus on this. And now comes the biggest advantage or the big we are all corporate players. We company secretaries have been helping corporates in their business enhancement. So SME listing is becoming more and more popular. Recently, we must have seen so many issues coming on SME platform. So the in SME exchange, the company can issue specified securities if the post-issue face value does not exceed 10 crores. And, of course, there is the post-issue face value is more than 10 crores and up to 25 crores also. There is a category to issue the shares. So the offer documents, you know, the draft doesn't have to be submitted to SEBI, but it has to be filed with SEBI through merchant banker, and merchant bankers have to play a very critical role here. So many of our friends have already ventured into merchant banking. So that's another area for us to expand our horizon and as a professional. SEBI, of course, should not have any observation on the offer document, and that will be, of course, ensured by professionals like us and the merchant banker. And the offer document has to be displayed from the date of filing on the website of SEBI and SME Exchange. So minimum application value, application size should not be less than 1 lakh, and the minimum number of prospective allottees should not be less than 50. So listing is, very, these days, lots of companies are coming with their SME issues. This is as per SEBI ICDR regulations. And of course, the listed companies can migrate securities from SME to the other platforms later. So it becomes a benchmark, entry kind of a thing for you to into the mainframe exchange. So the listed company can migrate by fulfilling the following conditions. Post-issue face value capital is less than 25 crores. Special resolution is required. Fulfilling eligibility criteria of listing is laid out by SME Exchange. Migration to the main board is available. So, the post-issue face value capital is more than 10 crores up to 25 crores. Special resolution, of course, is very clear. And, if the post-issue face value is likely to increase beyond 25 crores, the issuer shall migrate on the main board. And of course, no further issue of capital shall be made unless, the special resolution is passed and the in-principle approval from main board listing is available to them. Then, of course, the important part of underwriting, and here also we professionals can play a big role. All issues have to be 100% underwritten, so we can coordinate with the underwriters and merchant bankers. Merchant banker has to underwrite at least 15% of the issue size. And of course, they coordinate and deal with the underwriters. All the underwriting arrangements made by merchant banker shall be disclosed in the offer document. And of course, the merchant banker shall file with SEBI that issue has been 100% underwritten. And of course, there are eligibility norms for BSC, which is on net tangible assets should be at least 3 crores. Net worth should be at least 3 crores. Profit making track record should be there for at least 2 out of 3 immediately preceding financial years. And of course, post-issue paid-up capital has to be below 25 CR. So similarly, on NSE Emerge also, we have similar guidelines. Post-issue paid capital of the company shall not be more than 25 CR, and this 3-year track record should be there. The partnership firm subsequently converted into company. Of course, minimum 3-year experience has to be there for business, and they should hold at least 20% of the post-issue equity share capital, individually or severally between the promoters. And of course, positive cash accruals and in the last 2 years. Of course, they should not have been referred to by FER, or no petition for winding up should be filed against the company. So as a professional, we have a big role to play. We can actually help all these small enterprises to go for a bigger dreams, because I deal with a lot of startups, and let me tell you, in these startups also, they have a vision that they have to list on IPO. And even investors who are investing in these startups, they are always asking that, okay, how you are going to give us the exit strategy. So somewhere it is 5 years down the line, somewhere it is 10 years down the line. So because investors have, startup investors have a longer horizon. But let me tell you, the small, and medium enterprises. So as a SME IPO, you can, if you are not, planning for going for a bigger jump into the main board, you can start with the SME IPO and then, plan to go to the main board. So, so our professionals can play a very good role in guiding all these small enterprises and medium enterprises to plan for their SME IPOs, and handhold them and help them. And let me tell you, there is a huge area of preparing these people for due diligence, for preparing them to be ready for coming up with the SME IPO. So even if you are not a merchant banker, sometimes we think, oh, this is the role of a merchant banker. But merchant bankers are there for actually listing on the securities on SME frame. But the people who have to prepare them, who have to do all the back work, who have to actually make sure that all the compliances are done properly and effectively, so that they are listing ready. I think that is where we have to play a big role. There's a huge opportunity, and the way Indian economy is growing, the way our overall growth is happening for our industry, we can actually be catalyst to bringing lots of companies on SME platform, and we can really play a huge role. So these are this is a quick flow chart for you. We start with the appointment of merchant banker. We need to look at the restructuring of capital, due diligence, appointment of other preparation of offer document, then marketing strategy, appointment of other intermediaries like we talked about the underwriters, filing of the documents, and of course, allocation and listing. So this is a quick flowchart for you that pre-IPO you have to do due diligence, offer document, intermediaries, and IPO process. We are all clear about, and that is where we can play a good role. And our role as a person who can help in due diligence, who can help in ROC search, who can help in making sure all these statutory documents and licenses are in place, the understanding of the model of the business, and prepare the offer document. We can play a very, very effective role in this. And then, of course, we can uh, help them deal with depositories, registrar to the issues, market makers, binder to the issue, printer, advertiser. So this is where all professionals, all of us, we can play a very big role. And then, of course, submission of the documents to the various agencies, of course, the SEBI, ICDR regulations, and of course, filing of these with stock exchanges, with ROC, and getting all the approvals. That is where we can play a very, very big role. And of course, dealing with banks and dealing with merchant banker, and making sure that the issue goes through very smoothly. So all the back work is done by professionals only, and that is where all of us, we can play a very, very big role. So my dear friends, I have been allocated this much of time. So around 45 minutes I have taken for explaining you the opportunities on MSME front. And of course, we can help them appointment of independent director, women director, the company secretary, chief financial officer. Lots of us can be chief financial officers also, because sometimes we feel that, oh, we cannot be financial officer. Why not? Because we are trained in finance as well as on the regulatory side. So we can play both the roles. And of course, we can be a director on the board also. So aspire to contribute to the society whatever way you can. And that is where I think we can play a good role in helping MSMEs see bigger dreams, and they can see bigger dreams with our support, because they need professionals. So there is a huge opportunity for us, and I'm sure Ajay ji will speak more about other opportunities, and of course, few of these opportunities which are there. And then we'll be open to questions. We'll be happy to answer all your queries. Thank you. Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was indeed a very detailed presentation, and a lot of areas have been touched upon. Over to you, Ajay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rajiv ji. You have wonderfully addressed almost all the things. I will just be repeating whatever you have said, but my approach will be that what is the exact role of company secretaries and whether they can make money instantly. Instantly in the very first year when they start looking towards MSME. That will be my endeavor in this session. And well, this thing has already been addressed by Dr. Pooja. And Pooja ji, let me start this mid of the week with this story. And this story I have taken from the Ramayana, the epic battle between Ram and Ravan. When the bridge was being built, at that time, the monkeys were doing all the work with the big boulders. But one fine day, what Lord Ram noticed that one small squirrel, along with his team, is also putting and bringing the small pebbles and putting those small pebbles on the bridge. Lord Ram was astonished, and at the same time, he saw that Lord Hanuman has also noticed the contribution of the small creature, the squirrel, in making the bridge. Then Lord Hanuman smiled. Lord Ram could understand that perhaps he is belittling the contribution of the squirrel, and he asked, kindly come near to me. And then he said, will you bring that squirrel leader to me? The squirrel leader on the palm of Lord Hanuman was brought to Lord Ram. Lord Ram said that Hanumanji, kindly understand that the contribution of this small creature, where she is putting the small pebble, is larger than the big pebbles, because these small pebbles are going to give strength to the bridge, and without these small pebbles the bridge strength will be less. Treat these squirrels as MSMEs and treat these monkeys as the big organizations, and then the relevance of the story will be there for the today's session. And I always treat the MSMEs as the squirrel which was showered love by Lord Ram. Well, many times the professionals ask what was there before MSME Development Act 2006. Before 2006, for the first time, the small scale was segregated in the year 1993 since independence. Means the first era was from 1947 to 1993. In 1993, the first recognition came for small scale, and in 2006 the third era started, and in this third era the small scale has been subdivided into three: micro, small and medium, as just told by Rajiv ji, that definition and segregation of micro, small and medium. This segregation he has wonderfully told. And see, earlier in second era, that at that time during this second era, the recognition for service sector and breakup between large and small, that was not available. But since 2006, this also became available. So therefore, this is the journey as far as our political setup is there. And presently, I call this document as a passport. Why I call this as a passport? As you cannot get without the passport. Similarly, unless MSME have this Udyam registration, they are not eligible for most of the schemes of Government of India as well as schemes of the state governments. Earlier name of this was Udyog Aadhar. And see, anybody who aspires institutional network, and I shall tell you that Rajivji, my first brush with MSME was in 2008. And in 2011, I was in the flight to USA. The support for MSMEs has now been created, and this fund has been given to NVCFL, which is a special purpose vehicle created by NSIC, National NSIC Venture Capital Fund Limited. Means anybody who is in the age bracket of 40 plus, I will suggest that now upgrade your services and get connected with NVCFL, understand the policy, investment policy, investment philosophy, understand, and then go through the list of the daughter funds. Understand that as in the ecosystem of the professionals, now two layers are there. Similarly, for the large size venture funds, there are two layers. Top layer is known as mother fund, and the lower layer is known as daughter funds. And this should be NSIC Venture Capital Fund Limited controls and regulate the 10,000 crores SRI fund, SRI, Self-Reliant India Fund, which is created by none other than Government of India to support traditional healthy MSMEs. Traditional, because techie MSMEs, they are getting venture funding. But what about traditional MSMEs and healthy MSMEs which have potential to get listed? If they need the venture fund, they can go to the daughter funds which are affiliated to NVCFL. They are supported, and that way 50,000 crores equity fund has been created. By this time, 55 daughter funds have been registered with NVCFL, and 460 MSMEs have already got equity funding to the tune of 1,000 crores. KVIC. KVIC, basically the name, but don't get disconnected with the name. Name is Khadi and Village Industry Commission, but I am not talking about Khadi and Village Industry. I am talking about one of the super successful scheme of Government of India, because KVIC is nodal agency for that scheme. And this scheme is known as PMEGP, Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program or Employment Guarantee Program. But this name itself is a misnomer. This employment, read this E as entrepreneurship. Prime Minister Entrepreneurship Generation Program. G as a guarantee, not as a guarantee, but as a generation. And E officially it is employment, but read it as entrepreneurship. I call it Prime Minister Entrepreneurship Generation Program because subsidies are there, as just these were touched by Rajiv ji, that subsidies are there in the bracket of 15% to 35%. And then MSME Development Institute. These development institutes are spread and having 16 centers all across India, and they caters to various states as per the geographical territory assigned to them. They are under Ministry of MSME. COIR board, as Rajiv ji was talking about, COIR board is there. And thereafter, there are some important institutions. NISBAD is in Greater Noida, National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Business Development. That any of the youngster who comes in your touch and wants to start the entrepreneurship, advise him to do short-term course from NISBAD. And in addition to NISBAD, there is another ecosystem. IIT, everybody has heard. IIM also, all of us have heard, but have you heard about IIE? IIE is Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship. This is located in Guwahati. And IIE, NISBAD, they both are in the lean mode. And they are always open for MOU with various educational institutions. If as a practicing company secretary, you have even single client who is educational institution, you can facilitate and you can act as a bridge for signing of MOU with NISBAD or IIE with that educational institution, where hardware of educational institution will be used and software, that means the faculty, the course curriculum, and all other things will be provided and facilitated either by NISBAD or by IIE. Then there is another institute which is known as MGIRI, Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industry. But this is in Ahmedabad. And NIMSME, National Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, this is located in Hyderabad. Means, Poojaji, see that for these 4 institutes, Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta and Chennai, all 4 have been left. NISBAD is in Greater Noida. IIE is not in Calcutta but in Guwahati. MGIRI not in Bombay but in Ahmedabad. NIMSME not in Chennai but in Hyderabad. And state MSMEs, by this time, 25 out of 29 states have separate MSME department or MSME ministry. And at the lowest level, at the district level, there are district industry centers. That means validation for any subsidy scheme, the role of district industry center is also important. Therefore, do not forget and identify the district industry center in your respective city, so that you know that as a first point or as a nodal point or a verifier officer, from where the verifier officer will visit at the time or before disbursement of the subsidy. That officer most likely will visit from the office of DIC. Therefore, develop a rapport with district industry center if you are in practice. If you are in job but you are looking for subsidies, then again my advice will be that develop a rapport with district industry center. And technology centers, and other centers are also there, but these centers we can skip for today's session. And let us talk about one more important change which happened in 2021. That from 2006 till 2021, only manufacturing and service sector, they were given the status of MSME, and traders were not allowed to register as MSME. The transition has happened in 2021 by this circular. Now the traders are also included and they can also register under MSME, and they can also procure the Udyam registration. Most of the traders are still not aware about this right. But as of now, there is a special purpose and they are eligible only for one scheme. That scheme is priority sector lending and CGT MSE. That means any bank who will lend to the traders, that lending will also be covered in the category of priority sector lending. And they can avail the benefit of CGT MSE. CGT MSE, the Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises. That means traders are also eligible to get the loan funding against the CGT MSE guarantee. As of now, they are not eligible for any other purpose. But as Government of India has created one organization at the apex level, at all India level, which is known as Rashtriya Vyapari Sangh. So this Rashtriya Vyapari Sangh is pressing, and soon we will see that traders will also become eligible for taking the benefit of various other schemes as well. Well, because I have been told by Dr. Pooja that the professionals are attending from all across India, cutting barriers from the small cities also. Therefore, this is necessary to talk about Mudra loan scheme. Mudra loan scheme is one wonderful scheme where security is not required. And see, when a youngster with the entrepreneurial dream enters the office of a professional, most of the time, the first question which should be asked from him, whether his parents or her parents will give some security. If he says that parents are unlikely to give security for whatever may be the reason, then your hand holding to a young entrepreneur should be, the first hand holding should be through Mudra loan. Because Mudra loan facilitate the loan up to 10 lakh rupees without any security. And when I say without any security, it means without any security. And I will tell you the secret also, how you can successfully take Mudra loan for your clients. The secret is that keep your files ready, but don't submit the files. Every bank, every branch has to conduct 2 Mudra loan Mela during the year. And this Mudra loan Mela by every branch is 1 week long. Submit your ready files on day 1 and loan for your client will get sanctioned by the 3rd day. That is the secret. Otherwise, the bank manager is very busy and he is least interested for these small loans because his work is same, but the output is less. So more inputs, less output. Therefore, branch manager will not like to deal with such small loans. But during Mudra loan Mela, they are duty bound. They have to complete the targets. And if you submit the files on day 1, you will get the call from you are sure to get call on day 2 from the branch manager that kindly submit 2 more files before the loan Mela ends. So that is the top secret for successfully handling the Mudra loan. Maximum amount 10 lakh rupees. This is likely to be increased to 20 lakh rupees. Where we have got the feelers only 15 days back. There was news item that government is considering to increase the Mudra loan amount from 10 lakh to 20 lakh rupees. Processing fees. The beauty is that processing fees is nil, and if you go through Mudra loan Mela time, then other fees are also nil. And age, minimum age everybody knows 18 years, but you should know the maximum age also, because during Corona, and anybody who resigns from the job or who is removed from the job after the age of 40 usually fails to get another job. Because he fails to get another job, therefore that is the another target area where someone at the age of 40 plus leaves the job or get removed from the job. By default he has to enter into the business. Means remember that for Mudra loan the maximum age is 65 years, and this does not mean that at the age of 65 he has to return all the loans. The age is for entry into the business and to take the Mudra loan. Repayment terms are 5 years. And now there is another benefit, that second Mudra loan under Tarun that has been started, that if business is successful and businessman wants to now elevate his business, and his business is having the 3 years track record of, but he is still not having any security, then he can take second Mudra loan. That means again another loan which is also security free, up to rupees 20 lakh rupees. That is the beauty of Mudra loan. And now see macro data, that whether Ajay Garg is, whatever Ajay Garg is telling, whether that is happening on the ground. Now these are the provisional figures up to 27th July 2024 only. Number of loans sanctioned all across India. If you will read this figure, then you will come to know that more than 1 crore. And total amount disbursed. Now see the total amount disbursed, and this amount is also in lakhs. Means at grassroots, this loan is very popular. This is happening whether you are doing it or not. If you are not doing it, then my advice will be that do it. Another wonderful scheme which is there for the entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, and as a professional we can make money, that is PMEGP. And this scheme has been revamped recently. Recently means in 2022. This scheme was revamped on 1st June 2022. The earlier limits have been doubled as told by Rajiv ji. Now for manufacturing the limit is 50 lakh rupees, and for service sector the limit has been increased to 20 lakh rupees. The main attraction is 15% and 25% subsidy in urban area, and 25% and 35% subsidy in rural area. This is the main attraction of the scheme. But remember, subsidy do not happen on day one, number one thing. Number two thing, that this PMEGP scheme loan happens only with the hybrid security. What is this hybrid security? That part of the loan is required mandatorily to be supported by security which is to be provided by the entrepreneur. And part of the security can be under the guarantee scheme by Government of India. Hybrid security means any new entrant into business who does not have security which can be placed as a collateral security shall not be advised to go for PMEGP, because in PMEGP some sort of security is mandatorily to be provided by the entrepreneur. And see the criteria. The entry level 8th pass. If he has the certificate of 8th pass, he is eligible, but he must do 15 days entrepreneurship development program. And when you are advising the youngsters or the persons who are in middle age but have left his job or has been removed from the job, advise them that this scheme takes time, because in every district there is a committee which is headed by Deputy Commissioner, and that committee reviews the projects. Projects are usually approved by the district committee led by Deputy Commissioner or District Commissioner. And thereafter, there is a lead banker of the district. Thereafter, the files are referred to lead banker of the district, and that lead banker of the district manages and distribute and disburse these files to the various banks. Unless and until bank manager is impressed with the project and the additional documents which are sought by the bank manager, if these documents are successfully provided, only then disbursement happens. That means from the date of initiation, my experience is that from the date of initiation till the date of disbursement, usually PMEGP takes 6 months, 4 to 6 months. That means your new entrepreneur to whom you are going to serve must have patience that starting of business may take 4 to 6 months. If he is ready for that type of patience, only then advise him for PMEGP. And another caveat is that he must have some sort of security. If there is zero security with him, then he is not eligible for PMEGP. And what type of security Ajay Garg advises? I advise that instead of house, can you give security in the form of fixed deposit of 5 lakh rupees? If you can, then your PMEGP will happen. Simple way that suppose he is going to put, he is saying that his business needs 60 lakh rupees. He will put lakh rupees in business and he's looking for loan of 45 lakh rupees. Perfect. Let us take an example. My advice on day one is that out of these 15 lakh rupees, you make FD of 5 lakh rupees. That will work as your collateral security. And now you place your 10 lakh rupees in the business and rest of the money take a loan from the bank, then you have complied with the conditions of hybrid security. Means find the way out, because the entrepreneur's contribution is 10% in the urban area and 5% in the rural area. That means he has to comply. If his project is say 60 lakh rupees, minimum contribution should be 6 lakh rupees. And he is contributing 10 lakh rupees instead of 6 lakh rupees. And he is also having fixed deposit, which is considered as first class security. And he is ready to pledge this security to the bank who is lending institution. So then bank's comfort is there and eligibility and all the criteria are met, and his loan is likely to be sanctioned by the bank on priority, because he is showing the confidence and he is ready to give the first class collateral security as a fixed deposit. Well, there is another scheme which is known as PMEGP Accelerator Scheme. This accelerator scheme you can read on kviconline.gov.in. Sometimes what happens when a person starts the business, then the business is ready for moving from straight away from the ground floor to third floor. If it is the situation, then under PMEGP Accelerator Scheme, the beneficiary is eligible to double his loan amount. That means from 50 lakh rupees, he can now take the loan up to 1 crore. And this loan facility accelerator scheme is also eligible for, this accelerator scheme is also available for the Mudra loan. Now see that what is the criteria for this accelerator? 3-year profit track record, that is important. The 3-year profit track record, only then someone is eligible for PMEGP accelerator scheme. And this accelerator scheme has also been introduced post-corona. Now, let us move towards the credit guarantee fund, about which Rajiv ji was talking about CGT MSE. This is Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for micro and small enterprises. That means first thing we need to understand, because here also money happens as a professional. As a professional, money happens, therefore I am covering this scheme. And first thing we must understand that second M, that means medium enterprises are not eligible to avail this benefit. Credit guarantee CGT MSC, which is known as CGT MSC, but basically runs as Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises. Now the limits have been increased, and limit as of now is 5 crores. And this 5 crores in case of retailers, this is restricted to 1 crore. Guarantee commission, yes, every year guarantee commission is payable, but security again should be hybrid. Hybrid, this concept of hybrid security is there so that something is at stake of the entrepreneur also. Government says, okay, I'm ready to take the risk on your behalf, but some of the risk you also need to take. If you don't take any risk, then I will also not extend this guarantee to you. And government says that whenever any guarantee will be extended, then on YOY basis, you need to pay the guarantee commission. Here you can see that coverage is 75%. Suppose someone has taken a loan of 4 crores. Now, how much security is to be given by that entrepreneur? To the extent of at least 25% of the loan amount. That means out of 4 crores, he need to give collateral security to cover the risk up to 1 crores, and rest 3 crores he can take this risk from CGT MSC. Therefore, understand the concept of hybrid before you jump upon this type of practice. And Z certification, I will skip, and we will cover this Z certification on some other day. And this is wonderful opportunity where money is happening instantly. Any practitioner can make money, and there are two ways to make money, rather two levels. Level one, that when you onboard your MSME client on Treats platform, awareness about Treats platform is very less. Treats platform, onboarding on Treats platform need number of documents. There is a fees which is to be paid, and this fees is for signing of the agreement. That means stamp papers and then notary attestation and other things. And any MSME is ready to give 5,000 to 10,000 rupees if you can handhold and can onboard them on Treats platform. What are these Treats platforms, and what is the sanctity of these Treats platforms? Treats platforms are the platforms which are validated by none other than the Reserve Bank of India, the financial regulator, the oldest financial regulator of India, Reserve Bank of India. All three platforms are approved by Reserve Bank of India. And Trade Receivable Discounting Scheme. E stands for electronic, that means electronic platform. And T stands for trade, R stands for receivable, D stands for discount, and S stands for schemes. So then this is Treats Trade Receivable Discount Scheme. See what happens, that MSME supplies goods or services to the large companies or to other companies, and they raise the bill. And sometimes they need the working capital, and working capital gap is there. They want to fill this gap. They can fill this gap by way of getting the bill discounted on Treats platform. And this Treats platform, I want to share one secret, that don't leave your client just with onboarding. Second level hand holding is also required by the client company. First level, first of all, do the homework, ask them about their top 3 clients, identify and ask also that where they are listed. If their turnover is more than 500 crores, they need to be on one of the platform mandatorily, it is required. And if say the customer of your client is on M1 exchange, then you shall also onboard your client company on M1 exchange, because the banker of the customer of your client is likely to offer the lowest possible discounting rate for discounting of the trade receivables. Therefore, And I was advising you that don't leave your client just with onboarding on Trades platform. Handhold him for first 3 discountings of the bills because he does not understand this terminology. He may not be as educated as we are. Therefore, he needs your hand holding. And once his 3 bills will get discounted, thereafter train his team and make him your brand ambassador. And he, in next 1 year, I am dead sure he will give you 3 more clients for Trades platform. Don't become a sucker, blood sucker for the MSME, but 2 levels required: one, onboarding, and second level, 3 bill discounts for him, hand holding for 3 bill discounts, and charge your fees. They are ready to pay the fees. Only thing is they are not aware. MSME Mart also, because time is limited and Pooja ji has given me less time, so therefore I will go straight away to GEM portal. GEM portal is one of the outstanding scheme of Government of India. Any of your client company which is into manufacturing or into service sector and intends to supply to public sector undertakings or departments or ministries of central government of India, then the GEM portal is dedicated portal, but awareness amongst MSME is still very less. And if we go to the countryside, that means leaving the 4 metropolitans and 100-kilometer periphery of the metropolitans, then you will realize that about the GEM, the awareness is not there. And here also, I always advise that 2-level consulting is required, and 2-level consulting will help. First is that onboarding on GEM portal, that means registration on GEM portal, and thereafter at least handhold for 3 successful tenders on GEM portal to your client. When your client will start getting orders on GEM portal, then he himself will create his interest and interest of his staff. And what will happen after 3 clients leave him, after 3 transactions, after 3 orders, leave him as your brand ambassador, train his in-house team, and he will become your brand ambassador and he will become your free lifetime referee. And see whether something is happening here or not. Transaction worth 2,61,000 crores have happened by this time on GEM portal. L1 tender purchase up to 5 lakh rupees, there is no need to participate in the tender. The GEM, through GEM portal, any of the PSU I shall say CPSU, Central Public Sector Undertaking, or any of the Department of Government of India or any of the ministry, if they have to purchase anything up to 5 lakh rupees, they can purchase through GEM portal. Everybody is loving GEM portal. By this time, 60,000 buyers are there. And sellers, 46 lakh sellers are there. You can see how this GEM portal has grown into proportions, and 10,000 products and around 300 services are also available on GEM portal. That means not only the products but services are also getting traded on the GEM portal. Choice is yours, but my advice and my small office in the small city of Faridabad, yes, we extend these services, and whatever I am telling in today's session, I am telling on the merit of my personal experience and the experience of my office. This is very big opportunity. If you are in the age bracket of 45 plus, or you are in the practice for more than 10 years, then these are the early days for Sri Fund, and my advice would be that connect with Sri Fund, do only one assignment in a year, but enjoy your jackpot in your practice. If you are in job and you are doing job in the micro and small sector, then, and your entrepreneur is looking for the venture fund, then also connect with Sri Fund. This is one of the big opportunity, very big opportunity, but it suits you because it is not low hanging fruit, but this fruit is very sweet and very large. Even if you do one assignment in a year, then that single assignment has the potential to give you a wonderful result in terms of money in your practice. This 10,000 crores mother fund has been created by Government of India. This is to be infused in traditional and healthy MSMEs. NSIC Venture Capital Fund Limited, a special purpose vehicle has been created. This is wholly owned subsidiary of NSIC. Down the line, now 55 funds are there. Down the line, that means daughter funds. Understand the concept. As the concept you have seen in insolvency profession, you have seen in registered valuer, that two-layer regulator. Similarly, in venture fund industry, also the innovation is there. Now the principal fund is known as mother fund, but this mother fund of 10,000 crores is unmanageable. Therefore, this fund will not disburse the money to the MSME. But this fund will disburse money to the daughter funds. And already 55 funds are empaneled with this mother fund of 10,000 crores. And these funds are spread across India, but with the 85% concentration in Bombay. Bombay, number one, after that Ahmedabad, then Bangalore, then Hyderabad, then Delhi is distant fifth or sixth, and three more. So that way 55 daughter funds are there. First of all, understand the concept of Siri Fund, understand that traditional and healthy MSMEs, Government of India wants to support them in terms of equity. And these are early days. By this time, as per this NVCFL portal, 460 MSMEs have been given this venture funds by the daughter funds. And about around 1,000 crores have been disbursed. And this 10,000 crores fund has become 50,000 crores funds now, because the disbursement by mother fund to daughter fund is in the ratio of 20-80. That means 80 rupees to be arranged by the daughter funds from his own sources. Then that fund is eligible to get 20 rupees from mother fund. The minimum size is 100 crores, 25 crores. And in the packet of 5 crores means more than 25 crores, 25 plus 5. That means the next level, and that way these funds are doing wonderfully well. And the list of these 55 funds is available on the NVCFL portal, because this list is available over there. Therefore, your work is, your job is that if you know someone for that, someone in one of the fund, or you can approach one of the fund, then read the policy, investment policy of that daughter fund. And after that, do this one assignment in a year and you will go next level in your practice. I'm sure about that. As Rajivji was talking about ESDP and other trainings, so therefore I shall talk about this, that these ESDP and other trainings, these are available. Many of us love to be in proxy teaching. Proxy teaching, we are not a teacher, but still we love to share our knowledge. And I want to tell you that there are various free schemes being run by Government of India, absolutely free. This ESDP is fully financed by Ministry of MSME, not even a single rupee is charged from any of the ESDP participant. Similarly, if you are having one client as an educational institution, this entrepreneurship awareness program, which is of 4 hours, can be organized at the 100% cost of Government of India. Industrial motivation campaigns, these are possible with the three-way tie-up. One is that one industry association should be there, another one educational institute should be there, and together with them, you can become a conduit and you can facilitate this industrial motivation campaign through MSME DI, Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Development Institute. One such institute is in Delhi, MSME DI, and there are 16 such institutes all across India, in every part of India. Similarly, the management development programs and other vocational trainings, and you can always facilitate the tie-up with NISBED or IIE. NISBED or IIE for educational institute, if any of the educational institute is your client. Let us understand something more. See, Rajiv ji was talking about public procurement policy. Okay, policy is fine, but how to get connected with that policy? How your MSME client company can get benefit of public procurement policy? So this is your opportunity as a professional that SPRS, remember SPRS, SPRS is single point registration scheme, and this SPRS scheme, nodal agency for SPRS scheme is NSIC. What NSIC do? NSIC will do the process audit, and NSIC itself will not do. NSIC has engaged third party to do the process audit. You understand this process audit as quality and capability audit of a MSME. That okay, you are MSME, you are manufacturing fans, but how many fans you can manufacture in a tenure? What is the quality of the fan, whether quality checks are there or not? Therefore, this single point registration scheme, SPRS scheme, and NSIC is nodal agency. And what are the benefits? That when your client company will participate after getting this SPRS validation in the tender process for government supplies, then it need not pay tender fees. First benefit. Second benefit, that EMD, earnest money deposit, is also waived in case of SPRS compliant is for tendering, because NSIC files that facilitate the tender by way of developing a cluster of more than one MSME. Opportunity to match L1 bidder. If there is a gap of 15% or less, means tender is tender. Maybe that technically you have qualified, your client company has qualified, but what has happened, that the price gap between L1 and the MSME is 10%. If they are ready to match this commercial, then opportunity is given to these MSMEs who are SPRS compliant. What is this SPRS certification? This SPRS certification will happen through third party audit. Third party audit, one of such companies, RITES, RITES. They carry this audit on and they are empaneled with NSIC. But the name of the audit comes and the MSME is very nervous. They cannot complete it without your hand holding, though you may not be knowing their manufacturing process, but documentation and other things to be shown to the auditor and to auditor to be managed. That way, your hand holding is very essential for the MSME. Without that, they will not be able to handle this audit and they will be very nervous. This is my personal experience. And that way, when you handhold, you get some fees. MSME Samadhan. Pooja ji, 7 minutes are still there. So therefore, let us cover this MSME Samadhan. Because this MSME Samadhan.
We have all the remaining time.
Yeah. No, I would like to take the questions also, because see, the participants have number of queries and questions and they want to ask.
Most of your questions have already been answered through the PPT.
Right. MSME Samadhan. So this MSME Samadhan is wonderful scheme in the way that it happens that most of the time 5% or 10% of the payments are stuck up. If the stuck up payments are more than 10%, then MSME starts feeling suffocated. And when they start feeling suffocated, they start rushing to the law firms or advocates. And when they go to the advocates all across India nowadays tell them that civil suit required to be premeditated by mediation efforts. And then before filing the civil suit, the fees for the civil recovery is to be paid, which is in the range of 5% to 7%, depending upon the state. Now, what does it mean? That if 1 crore rupees of are stuck up as a payment, then first of all 7% deposit is to be done with the court. Only then the case can be filed. That means a big burden of 7 lakh rupees to be raised by micro and small entrepreneur. Only then he will be able to file a civil suit. And that also after that, he need to pay fees to the advocate. He need to pay the court fees also, and only then this will be there. Therefore, what has been done that this MSME Development Act has given leverage to the state governments, and most of the state governments by this time have created MSME Facilitation Council. And MSME Facilitation Council of Delhi is dead. State Capital Facilitation Council is dead, but State Facilitation Council is more than 20 states is doing wonderfully well. What are the advantages? Number one, that government fees is very less. This ranges from 2,000 rupees to 5,000 rupees. Means instead of 7 lakh rupees, 2,000 to 5,000. Civil suit on average in India takes not less than 10 years to get settled. Here in MSME Samadhan, the settlement on average in 2 years, that is the average time for settlement. This MSME Samadhan, final disposal by the courts, faster process recovery, and faster process based on arbitration, because this process is based on arbitration. And prior to arbitration, the conciliation efforts are made by the Facilitation Council. If conciliation efforts fails, then the matter is referred to the arbitration. And what is the threat? Threat is that 3 times of the bank interest rate that is payable to the MSME. That means if the interest rate is say 8%, so then 3 times of the interest rate, 24% interest rate is payable. But we always advise our client companies that forget interest. You are lucky you are getting your money back. If conciliation is there and the other party, your client's customer is ready to pay the original amount, forget interest. Even if say some sacrifice of 5 to 10% is there, then do that sacrifice and improve your customer basket. This is our advice. So that, and we also advise that you are entrepreneur, you are not as a lawyer, so understand your interest, that as an entrepreneur, you are there to do the business. One bad client came, leave him and forget, realize your money. Let us close the matter on ASAP so that you get sleepful nights and you can focus on rejuvenation of your business. So that way we suggest them. And this is the scheme that if you are in the practice just for 1 year, then also you can facilitate this exhibition subsidy. Exhibition subsidy, this is one of the wonderful scheme which is very easy, and every company secretary who is in practice can connect on experimental basis at least 3 of the MSME clients. It happens, but this is post subsidy, post exhibition, and 3 types of formalities are to be done. But before that, what is the opportunity? Opportunity is that Government of India every year facilitates subsidy to the extent of 2 exhibitions. One domestic exhibition and one international exhibition. Suppose your manufacturing client is into food business and he wants to participate in exhibition because exhibition brings money, exhibition brings new clients, exhibition brings orders and everything. But he is shy because exhibition is going to cost him 4 lakh rupees. Can this be subsidized? Answer is yes. If your client has Udyam and you have the knowledge, then this exhibition subsidy is possible. The link of this is given there, that nodal agency for these exhibition subsidies is nsic.in. And up to 85% subsidy is available. Why up to 85? This is just like as you get the board on mall in a showroom that up to 50% discount. That maximum discount is 50%. Similarly, maximum subsidy is 85%. Means a subsidy is more for female entrepreneurs, subsidy is more for SC/ST entrepreneurs, subsidy is more for micro, subsidy is less for small, subsidy is lesser for medium. That means micro, small, medium, smaller the size, more the subsidy. Larger the size, less the subsidy. Similarly, weaker the entrepreneur, more the subsidy, stronger the entrepreneur caste-wise, then subsidy, and similarly gender-wise. And these happens very easily. And nowadays, online process is there. So therefore, if you know how to make the file, that every company secretary know how to make the file, how to do the attachments, how to upload the documents. The MCA has given us this thorough knowledge, and we are immaculate in that. Therefore, I advise that today's session will be successful if 5 of the participants in today's program starts understanding this exhibition subsidy and they make money in the process as a professional. And I shall also tell you that my state, Haryana, facilitates 4 exhibition subsidy. 2 by central government and 2 by Haryana government. So therefore, we take our client and we suggest our client that you can participate in 4 exhibitions. Don't worry. For all the 4 exhibitions, the subsidy will happen. For 2 exhibitions, we take them to country, that means Government of India. And for other 2 exhibitions, we take them to Invest Haryana portal, and therefrom we facilitate this subsidy. That means you also check the MSME support scheme for your respective state and also identifies, and you can start your MSME practice with this opportunity number 14, because this is very easy to happen. See, pre-exhibition formalities. Naturally, the exhibition should be in the list of NSIC. If it is not there, you can always write to NSIC, and NSIC usually adds that specific exhibition also. Post-exhibition, what was your exposure, whether some photographs, whether you actually participated, the evidence of that, evidence of payment, photographs also needed. Then who was at the counter, how many visitor you got, all these type of information, the format is there. This format is to be filled and to be submitted, and then the subsidy happens. Actually, Government of India has departed from one very difficult practice which was earlier there. Earlier, what was happening that all the schemes of all ministries were being announced by Finance Ministry. And Finance Ministry used to say, though, I have earmarked this much budget for you. And whenever any scheme is there and you get the applications, forward these applications to us and we will disburse the money to ministry, and ministry will disburse this money to the respective beneficiary. Now the budget system of Government of India has changed. Government of India says that this allocation has been made for Ministry of MSME. Now Ministry of MSME is free. Money is transferred to the account of Ministry of MSME, and MSME ministry is free. They can design their scheme, and whenever the beneficiaries' applications are there, they can disburse the money. Therefore, what has happened that the waiting time for disbursement of the subsidy amount has reduced. Well, we will leave this SME listing as covered by Rajiv ji. Therefore, and if you want to go for the latest MSME schemes, usually people ask, is there any centralized portal where I can see all MSME scheme? Yes, answer is yes. Government of India has developed this my.msme.gov.in. Go on this portal, read the schemes and also understand the schemes which have been told by Ajay. Those schemes actually there in the arena of this MSME or not. And here I will end my session so that we can take the questions. And if there is no question, then I will have some questions, Pujaji.
Thank you so much, sir. More than the questions, I would like to tell you that my query box is filled with appreciations for both of you.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
And people want to, have a hang of presentations and want to know how they can connect with you and get knowledge from you directly.
Yeah, great. Great.
Thank you so much for this session. And I'll begin with some of the questions that I've got. which are mostly procedural also. So the first one that I have is that do we have to report all the invoice with MSME or only those payments due more than 45 days and paid 45 days? I think with the new Excel template of Form MSME 1.
Yeah.
Or
Rajiv, yes.
Please.
See this, this question is related to MCA, where half yearly this MSME dues is to be reported. And dues which are more than 45 years, that means beyond 5 years, 45
45
days
days.
are reported.
Yeah.
The payments which have been made well within 45 days of these are not to be reported. And transition is that earlier understanding was that the bills which are due on the cutoff date, the income tax is disallowed. That means now this concept of Ministry of Corporate Affairs has been adopted by the CBDT also, Central Board of Direct Taxes, and income tax has also made. So then answer is simple that payments made within 45 days not reported, payments made beyond 45 days, whether on the cutoff date or during that period of say are to be reported to MC.
Great.
This is a help.
This is a query which I believe has practical implications. So one of the members, they say that they got their MSME registration done during financial year 2018. And the registration was done by an accountant who filled his own mobile number and email ID application. But unfortunately, he passed away during the pandemic. Now, later on, they are not able to re-register the Udyog Aadhaar and Udyog registration because they're not able to get the OTP. So, what is it? What is the process that they can resort to, and how they can get this thing rectified?
Yes, see, pre-corona, the Udyog Aadhaar number was there. And post-corona, the Udyam registration is there. There is a help desk of the MSME ministry. If they will write to the help desk, then help desk will facilitate this matter as a special case, and they shall also forward the application. That means that email which is sent to the help desk shall also send this to DC MSME. DC MSME email ID is there available on the website of the Government of India. And then the matter will be resolved, and who knows that some sort of things will be developed, because it happens nowadays also that many times the consultant just for the facilitation fills his number and his email ID. It is happening even today. This is a big challenge.
I'm sure it will be done. Yeah, it's simple. Yeah.
Solution. I shall repeat the solution, Pooja ji.
Sir, that's fine.
Okay.
It's clear.
Do the MSME companies need to file Udyam registration to qualify as small company under the Companies Act?
No. Definition of small company under the Companies Act is different.
Than that of the...
We have different definition under Companies Act, and we have different definition to avail the subsidies. The definition of MSME ministry is to avail the subsidies of Government of India, and the definition which has been provided under Companies Act is to avail the relaxed compliance management for the small companies.
Another question relating to that MSME one. In case a company does not have any outstanding dues of more than 45 days, do we still need to file the form MSME 1?
Such cases, we are not filing the form.
No, it's not mandatory. Yeah.
Now, this is a question even I can relate to. For MSMEs, there are a lot of government schemes and grants.
Yes.
We see them on the website, but we find it difficult to get detailed procedures. Where can we get that?
Yes. In हथेली पे सरसों उगाना. This will not happen. This will not happen. The Hindi saying, and
And that
instantly.
is the reason I was smiling when you were saying कि हाँ एक ही website है My MSME और उसी पे सब मिल जाएगा.
Yes, actually, see what is that website? That is not a single website. That is combination of all the websites. Say on My MSME, you go to public procurement policy. Then this will take you to the separate website where you will get everything about public procurement policy. Similarly, if you talk about state government subsidies, knowing the procedure, because governments are changing very frequently, ministers are also changing, secretaries are also changing. Therefore, many times the changes are very fast and we have to keep the track. Therefore, I gave you an idea to the participants today that district industry center. If you fail to understand procedure for any of the policy, visit your district industry center, develop some rapport over there. Instantly, within seconds, they will tell you go to Invest Haryana portal. Otherwise, you will search, and even in a week, you may fail to understand that if you are going to apply for subsidies of Haryana government, which portal you must apply. Therefore, this BIC becomes very important office.
Let's hope that helps. But procedures is still an issue for company secretaries as to how things need to be done properly.
No, no, for company secretaries, it is very easy. Once they understand the website, they know how to do everything. And I have,
Our members,
Website.
yes, I have
our
given a hint for Haryana participants that Invest Haryana is the portal where we upload all the subsidies of Haryana government. Similarly,
otherwise,
हाँ जी.
similarly for Uttar Pradesh and then other states, some names are different, but nowadays it is possible that if you are in a small city like me, Faridabad, and you want to apply for subsidies of Maharashtra, you can do it while sitting in Faridabad. No need to visit anywhere.
yeah.
This is possible. This is
Our
happening.
members are digitally very active, and thanks to
Yes.
MCA, they know how to manage all this. Yeah, it should be simple for them.
Let's hope so. Okay, most of the company secretaries are also MSME enrolled. So how can we get MSME grants, and especially the women professionals? Is there any specific grant that we can apply for?
Yes. Number one, that the scheme for which I was the beneficiary in 2011 for the first time and subsequently 6 more times, that scheme presently is not active. That means business delegation. That scheme is not active. But these schemes, ESDP and other schemes, it is possible because MSME ministry is not available in every district, and in every district, this ESDP is to be done once in a year. One ESDP program in every district is to be done, and the PPDC centers are open for entering into MOU even with the individual. If that individual can assure that this ESDP will happen and he has arrangement with the educational institution, this can happen. Number one. Number two, professional code of conduct comes in between to participate in exhibitions, because as per professional code of conduct, we cannot advertise. Therefore, you cannot be beneficiary for the exhibitions. Number three, for quality certifications, you are eligible for your firm. You can avail that subsidy for taking the quality certifications. That means ISO series subsidy is also there. And as a practicing company secretary unit, if you are doing the practice with multinational companies and you wish to take ISO 9000 rupees, 9001 or whatever, so then subsidies are available for you. Another subsidy which is available, that if suppose your company, your firm has taken the loan for office. Otherwise, company secretaries in practice don't need the loan, but for office, they may require the loan. So then there is one scheme which is for which we call PCRA, Performance Credit Rating Agency. Samira is there, and this Samira credit rating can reduce the interest by 1% if that credit rating is carried by the practicing CS firm. So this is possible. PCRA subsidy is possible. This is the question of the day till now, and I enjoyed replying to this question.
Thank you. There's a very common question which is there that is MSME registration compulsory? It's very simple,
By,
but
by default, it is compulsory. If you want to travel to Britain, you must have passport. Visa cannot happen without passport. So by default, it is becoming compulsory. Similarly, MSME Samadhan or any subsidy, any benefit you want to avail, if you don't have Udyam registration, you are not eligible. By default, it is compulsory. If you don't want to avail any benefit, it is not mandatory. So legally, it is not mandatory. Commercially, it is mandatory.
it's like the benefits of getting into the organized sector.
Yes.
That is where I think we come in and educate on behalf of the government to actually help them understand the benefits. And that way it is compulsory, otherwise not. Yes.
In case of a listed company, nil return of MSME form is required to be filed or not?
Yes. Even MSME company need to file this half-yearly return.
But nil return also.
Nil return not needed. Nil return with the MCA not required.
Yeah, it's optional actually.
There's a question about Trends platform, and
Yes.
is it necessary for a company to register with Receivables Exchange of India Limited for payment to its MSME vendors?
See, there are 4 stakeholders. Rather, I shall say 5 stakeholders. Stakeholder number 1 is Reserve Bank of India, who is the regulator. Second stakeholder is the company which is running the platform. Third stakeholder is every company which is having the turnover of 500 crores mandatorily required to register on at least one of the 3 portals. Number 4, all the banks and financial intermediaries for getting the business. This is not mandatory for them, but they are also one of the stakeholders because they discount the bills. And for MSME, this is recommendatory that if they have one quality client, then they must register on portal, ideally on the same portal on which their client company is registered. Because the best rates, this is my experience, that best rates are offered by the banker of the client company, customer company. So that way, 5 stakeholders are there. And for MSME, it is optional. For more than 500 crores turnover company, this is mandatory.
I believe it's an important question that when a MSME stops doing its business, stops the business operations, is it important or required to get itself deregistered as an MSME, the Udyam registration?
There is no such process.
Okay.
But nowadays, what has happened that this Udyam registration has become dynamic. Dynamic means that on YOY basis, once the balance sheet is ready, and once the company has crossed the limit of 250 crores of turnover, or has crossed the investment in plant and machinery to 50 crores, then automatically it will become ineligible to get the benefits of MSME. Means the change may be from smaller category to higher category. Change may also be from higher category to smaller category, or change may also be in the form that company exits from the arena of MSME, either on the top side or on the bottom side.
Last question for the day. wholesale traders or retail traders can register themselves as MSMEs as per the MSME order dated July 2, 2021. But the mandatory payment within 45 days are not applicable to them.
Yes, they cannot take that benefit as of now.
How to deal in a situation where the company has received supplies from such traders, whether supplies of raw materials from such traders will be classified as receipt of services, and can payments made to such traders after 45 days from the date of receipt of supplies of materials. I don't know, it's a bit incomplete, but
Yeah, gray area.
hmm.
The question is very clear that see the supply now. The most of the questions are related to MSME half yearly return, which is
Yes.
compliance management, right? And see, MSMEs can be categorized into three categories. First is who are having the Udyam registration. Second, the MSMEs who are not having Udyam registration. And third is traders and wholesalers who are either having the Udyam registration or not having Udyam registration. Now, law says that irrespective of whether the MSME is having the registration or not, if payment must be made within 45 days. Means first two categories to be reported. Third category is gray area. This is being debated day in and day out. Whether the traders, because now traders also have Udyam registration, whether 45 days or not. So auditors are taking two-way stand. Some of the auditors are convinced that because they are here only for a limited purpose of CGT MSE, therefore they shall not be considered as MSME and 45 days criteria does not apply to them. But there is another chunk of the auditors who are taking the stand that because they have Udyam registration, whether you report or not, if you don't report, we will qualify your auditor report. So basically, depending upon the comfort and convincing to the auditor, if auditor convinces the company within 45 days, if company convinces the auditor, wholesaler and traders can be skipped. But basically, it is on the sweet comfort of the statutory auditor of the company.
With this, we come to an end of this session, and I would request both of you for your closing remarks. Rajiv ji, you first.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I think it was a very insightful session. All of you with your questions made it more interactive, but questions are still coming on compliance. I wish you focus on the financial aspects, on SME listing, on the bigger opportunities and bigger cake. We want all of you to grow and make big money. Ajay ji also talked about that. So, of course, compliance is our bread, but I think let's focus on butter also. So make it big for all of you. Wish you all the best, and feel free to connect with any of us. I am on CS as CS Rajiv Bajaj on LinkedIn. Very easy to reach out. So same is with Ajay ji. So thank you very much, and keep interacting, keep asking questions, and keep learning.
Ajay sir.
MSME committee is there under the leadership of Rajiv Bajaj. I feel that in times to come, the company secretaries will get connected with the subsidy schemes and will enjoy the fruits of subsidy schemes in a bigger way. And I also want to advise to Rajiv ji that kindly organize such a session on a startup also, because opportunities, the money making opportunities, real life money making opportunities are there in the startup arena also. So my advice will be to the ICSI headquarters that organize such sessions, because the participants are huge in these programs, and organize such session on a startup as well. Thank you. Thank you very much. Enjoyed the session.
Thanks, everyone. And Ajay ji, we had a series for startups last year also. And this year also, we're starting with MSME and we'll
Yes.
move to startups, surely.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank
Thanks to
you.
both.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.